Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Louise Huber begins now.
And to some breaking news now, Tasmania has closed its borders to more areas across the country amid those new cases. In the Northern Territory, Public Health has declared Darwin, Palmerston and Litchfield as high risk from just an hour ago. Spots in Queensland, Western Australia and Victoria are also deemed high risk. Anyone who has been in those jurisdictions are urged to check the Travel Alert website. Returning Tasmanians will need to apply to re-enter the state and quarantine for 14 days at a suitable premise. As authorities scramble to contain those cases across the country, the rippling effects are being felt strongly here in Tasmania. Hotels, event and tourism businesses hit with a string of visitor cancellations.
Landing at empty airports. Handfuls of passengers arrive in Tasmania from Sydney.
A lot of cancelled flights, so we were a bit concerned, but it actually went quite smoothly.
Where there's difficult areas in New South Wales, they've got containment plans in place, but for the rest of us in New South Wales, fortunately, things stayed open, so
it's good.
Coming into Hobart and Launceston, while Sydney's growing COVID cluster continues to soar. Cases also popping up in other parts of the country, already impacting Tasmania, as 2 miners still wait for their test results after returning to the state from a Northern Territory site where a worker tested positive.
If we're going to continue having people moving between states, as we do, because as the country opens up, we just need to make sure that our testing, our tracing and our personal behaviours are as strong as they can be.
The developing COVID chaos leading to a drop in local hotel bookings. Launceston's Balmoral on York already copping around $4,000 worth of cancellations over the last 2 days, scrambling to deal with border closures once again.
They kill our business because it isn't just those areas that people are cancelling from, it's the scare factor that people don't want to be locked down in Tasmania if they come across here, so it's very real.
A disappointing turn of events, with strong months originally predicted ahead.
It would have been one of our better winters. Not the best, but it was looking stronger than previous years.
Also felt by tourism operators, with visitors spending fundamental in keeping businesses like Bonorong afloat.
It's things like private tours that we've had booked by Sydney-siders. We had a couple of really exciting VIPs coming down who might have been potential supporters, and all of them had to can their trip.
The sting even sharper, with school holidays just around the corner.
I just hope that Tasmanians, recognise that 1 in 7 people now in Tasmania are employed either directly or indirectly by tourism. So getting out and supporting your local tourism ventures.
Also poor timing for the state's iconic Festival of Voices, kicking off in just 3 days. Organisers prepared to adapt the program amid a looming absence of New South Wales performers and participants.
By and large, there's been very few ticket movement and cancellations. Obviously, there are some from those that can't make it, and we do sympathise with them. But in the main, the show will go on.
While Opera Australia cancels its Tasmanian instalment of the Carmen Tour.
There have been lots of local groups involved with getting ready to be a part of a chorus in every town that they go to. They pick up a local chorus, and all of those groups have been working for months, and now it's all cancelled.
Tasmania keeping its eyes on the rest of the country, feeling some deja vu. Ruby Kemain, 7 Tasmania News.
Police officers are too often being tasked with manning courts around the state, according to the union. With Launceston's crime rates towering over the rest of the states, they say resources in the area are being stretched too far.
Police time is as valuable as it gets, but the union says officers are too often doing the work of other departments.
If we continue to do backstopping other government agencies, who's backstopping police to do criminal investigations, emergency management, public order and traffic policing?
In 2018, the state government promised to fully staff the Launceston Magistrate Courts with security guards, freeing up police. But in the last 2 weeks, officers have been called back.
It is concerning that the numbers of police being used in the Launceston Magistrate Courts in the last 2 weeks.
In a statement, the state government said the contractor has recently had difficulty supplying sufficient security officers to meet the court's requirements. This is a short-term measure to ensure that the courts continue to run and do so safely. Labor says the situation casts doubt on the promise at the most recent election to replace all officers with guards at the Burnie courts too.
At a time when we know that both police and the community are genuinely concerned about increasing rates in crime, it's not appropriate for police to be taken away from that work.
There's a transition to remove the police so that they are not doing that job and they're out on the street where they need to be.
It comes with police resources in the area already strained.
Launceston has the highest victimisation rates across a range of crime categories as reported by Tasmanian Police with respect to all other 13 police divisions. Now, the shootings that we're seeing in Launceston is evidence of that.
They say reinforcements also promised at the last election can't come quick enough. 17 new officers due in the next year and another 10 slated for the division by the end of this government term. Josh Duggan, 7 Tasmania News.
Funds are being made available for Tasmanian farmers to improve their drought preparedness. Tasmania has milked $1.3 million from the federal government's Future Drought Fund, some of which will be used to deliver farm business programs.
So that they actually have those business plans and have those succession plans, business continuity plans and risk mitigation plans.
Looking where we are today, you're not really thinking about drought, and that's terrific for the time we're in at the moment. But droughts will come again.
Separate drought resilient plans will be developed for Tasmania's 3 regions. Former Labor leader Rebecca White has given birth to her second child, a baby boy. Hudson Rupert Dan was born on Friday morning, only a day after Ms White was in State Parliament.
We're so pleased that everything's gone well, and we look forward to her coming back after she, Rod and me have some wonderful time with Hudson.
Ms White battled commentary about her pregnancy through the state election campaign, saying plenty of pregnant women continue to work and she's no different. Stanley business owners say they're feeling the pinch of interstate border closures this winter as visitor numbers dwindle. But operators in the small coastal town are remaining optimistic, already looking ahead to spring and summer off the back of a prized tourism title.
Every guest is precious here at Stanley Seaview Inn, but even more so at this time of year.
Winter is always a really slow time for us, and this winter's no different. So we've had our busiest season, and Easter comes around, and Easter Monday always signifies the end of our season for us.
Operators say trade was strong during the peak summer season, but still down around 25% on previous years. That's set to drop further now, with Tasmania slamming shut to large parts of New South Wales, which is one of their key tourist markets.
They just love to come down here so that they can actually breathe away from their industrial lives in big cities and walk the beach when they might be the only person on it. So they feel like the luckiest people on earth, and they keep coming back and back and back.
Stanley was a casualty of last year's North West Coast COVID shutdown, which saw several businesses close, including 3 restaurants.
It does have an impact on our visitor offering when 3 out of the 5 or 6 restaurants are closed.
But as some doors shut, others opened. Amber Polk took on a new venture in the main street of town in November.
Really great at the moment, so we're getting a lot of local support, which really helps, and we're seeing quite a few Tasmanian tourists, so people from the south venturing up north when they wouldn't normally venture up north, which is great.
And with Stanley winning the prestigious title of Tassie's top tourism town this month, operators have another string in their bow.
We have got the strongest forward bookings that we've ever had. So yeah, we're optimistic, coming on confident that we will have a good year ahead.
Letitia Wallace, 7 Tasmania News.
To local soccer now, and South Hobart's NPL Tasmania title chances were dented after an entertaining 3-3 draw with Kingborough. South are now 5 points behind ladder leaders Glenorchy after their crushed Riverside Olympic to remain undefeated in the league this season.
South and Kingborough started the season in form, however both have struggled in recent weeks. In a must-win match, Casper Hallam gave South an early lead before doubling it in the 21st minute.
Curls it in, Havinen with a good piece of it, and Casper Hallam wheels away in celebration.
The Lions scored before half-time through Ben Hamlet, and in 8 minutes in the second half, Kingborough went from 2-1 down to 3-2 up.
Douse into the box, squares it up, and what a finish that is from McEwen.
The points would be shared after South won a penalty. Nick Morton converting, but it wasn't the result both teams needed. At KG5, Glenorchy's title charge continued, taking just 10 minutes to score against a winless Riverside. They made it 2-0 from the spot just before half-time. The second half, a procession, with 3 more goals scored. A 5-star performance from the Knights in a 5-0 win. At Clarence, a win for the Strikers would keep them just a point behind Glenorchy, but they didn't start well. The Zebras leading after just 4 minutes. Devonport eventually levelling in the second half. Jordan Payne finishing nicely at the back post. An important win for the reigning premiers was sealed in the 76th minute. And in Launceston, City secured their second win of the season against Olympia. The damage done in the first half. 2 goals in 5 minutes helping them to a 2-1 win. John Hunt, 7 Tasmania News.
Richie Port's hopes at the Tour de France have taken a huge hit after only one stage. In a crash marred opening day, the Tasmanian was caught up behind a huge fall with less than 10 kilometres remaining.
It's a massive crash right in the middle. Richie Port is in the fall.
Port rolled in 2 minutes and 16 seconds behind winner Julian Alaphilippe, who surged away on the final climb to win solo and take the yellow jersey. A late decision to ban crowds from today's Hockey Pro League matches in Perth didn't stop the Kookaburras from notching up another win. Tasmania's Eddie Ockenden was in the thick of the action in the wet conditions. Australia too strong for New Zealand, defeating the Kiwis 2-0, keeping them in 3rd position on the ladder. They'll now turn their attention to the Tokyo Olympics, which starts in just 26 days' time. In the NBL 1, our northern sides had mixed fortunes against the Bendigo Braves. In the women's, the Tornadoes were defeated 87-74. Bendigo outscoring Launceston in every quarter to record a precious away win. Kate Oliver starring for the Braves with 23 points.
Kate Oliver, there it goes. And she goes off the bar for 2. She might have got fouled as well.
The result makes it Launceston's 3rd loss of the season. Northwest, however, recorded an important 82-70 win, a 48-32 first half from the home side doing the damage.
Brad Simpson with the 3.
The result keeps the Thunder top of the ladder.
Good evening. 14 across Launceston and Devonport today. Hobart and Burnie reaching 13. 12 at Strahan Grove and Bushy Park 13 and 14 at Flinders Island. On the close-up shows a cold cloud extending over western and southern Tasmania. Further out, a middle-level cloud band lies over the coast of Queensland while a frontal band can be seen over WA. Tomorrow, a cold front crosses the WA coast with a secondary front to the west. Northwest to southwesterly winds tomorrow 5 to 15 knots, swells up to 5 metres in the west and south and up to 1 metre in the north. A road weather alert for icy roads is current for northern and central Tasmania. Tomorrow's forecast now: Hobart, partly cloudy, 12 across Dover and Ouse. In the north, Launceston and Devonport, mostly sunny, 12 at Scottsdale. Burnie and Strahan tomorrow, partly cloudy, Stanley 13. St Helens, mostly sunny, 13 at Swansea and Ross 12. Looking ahead to the 3-day forecast, Tuesday fine apart from light showers about the northwest. Wednesday showers about the northwest, fine elsewhere. And Thursday fresh and gusty north to northwesterly winds with showers about the north and west. Capital cities, a shower or 2 in Perth tomorrow. Adelaide 17 and mostly sunny in Brisbane. And currently Hobart cloudy and 10, Launceston 7 clear and Devonport 8 and clear. A few showers expected this week, Louise, so don't forget the brolly.
Good advice. I'll have to get one in the car. Thanks for that, Jackie. And that's all your news for now for this Sunday night. Thanks so much for joining us. Have a lovely evening. Good night.